Welcome to Signature TV News. I'm Charles Pius. In the headlines, court declares 25 Rivers Assembly seats vacant. Streets of Enugu deserted over a sit-at-home order by IPOB. 30,000 persons successfully register for students' loan scheme. And on the foreign scene, South Africa's capital residents focus on the future following elections, while in sports, Messi and Miami fall 3-1 to lowly Atlanta, their first loss since March. We bring you A High Court in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, on Thursday ordered that the seats of the 25 lawmakers who defected from the People's Democratic Party, PDP, to the All Progressives Congress, APC, vacant, pending the determination of a suit. Justice Charles Wali gave the order in a suit filed by Victor Jumbo, Speaker, Rivers House of Assembly, Sokari, and Orubwemiga Timothy, on the current crisis rocking the state assembly. The court ordered Martin Amewule, the factional Speaker of the House, to stop parading himself as the Speaker of the Assembly, and 24 defected lawmakers from posing as lawmakers in the state. Justice Wali restrained the first to 25th defendants from parading themselves as members of the Rivers House of Assembly and meeting or sitting at the auditorium of the House of Assembly quarters located at Aba Road, Port Harcourt. The Supreme Court on Thursday gave the 36 state governors of the Federation 7 days to file their defense in the suits brought against them by the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice Lateef Fagbemi. A 7-man panel of Apex Court led by Justice Garba Lawal, which issued the order, also gave the Attorney General 2 days within which to file his defense upon receipt of the governor's defense. Justice Lawal held that the decision of the court was predicated on the national urgency of the suit and the non-objection from the attorneys generals of the states of the Federation. The Apex Court held that filing of all processes and exchanging of same must be completed within the time and ordered all state attorney generals absent to be present in court on the adjourned date. The 8 states whose attorney general were absent in court despite being served with hearing notice were Borno, Kano, Kogi, Niger, Ogun, Osun, Oyo, and Sokoto. The Attorney General of Ebonyi State and the chairman of the body of state attorneys general, Dr. Ben Odo, speaking on behalf of the other AGs, said they had a meeting and he has their consent of no objection to the suit. Abia State Wednesday celebrated 1-year anniversary of Governor Alex Oti's administration with commissioning of projects and other activities. Signature TV correspondent Justice Ama in the parts 1 of our special reports on Abia State looks at 1 year of Governor Oti's administration.
Governor Alex Oti took office amidst high expectations and promises of change. There were great expectations from the Alex Oti administration right from his first day in office, based on the governor's pedigree of success in the private sector and his very convincing campaign promises. His inaugural address resonated with many as he outlined ambitious plans for economic revitalization, infrastructure development, and improved social services. His administration made significant strides in improving access to quality health care, enhancing educational opportunities, and upgrading critical infrastructure across the state. Oti, upon resumption, faced challenges, including a struggling economy, political opposition, and the burden of public expectations. While thanking the people for choosing him as their governor, Oti promised to bring the dividends of democracy to the citizens.
Close to 365 days after you gave us this mandate to serve you. So we want to say thank you to all of you. Thank you for coming out en masse to vote. Thank you for protecting your vote. Thank you for allowing your voices to be heard. Thank you for everything that you did to ensure that this change happened.
Despite setbacks met upon assumption of office, the governor wasted no time in getting to work. In his first months in office, he implemented several key initiatives aimed at jumpstarting the state's economy and addressing social issues. Special advisor to the governor, Ferdinand Ekoma, says the governor's priority is to ensure he fulfills the promises made to the people.
We are striving to meet the expectations of our people. We are striving with so much commitment and dedication and sincerity to fulfill our obligations, to fulfill the campaign promises we made to our people, to keep our side of the social contract Governor Alex Otti has with the people of Abia State.
Speaking on road infrastructure in the state, Ekoma reveals that a 67-kilometer road have been awarded to 3 construction companies with a mandate to deliver by December this year.
Look at the Umuahia, Uzuakole, Abrebo Hofia Road, 67-kilometer road that was awarded by the government. Go and see to 3 construction companies. Why did the governor do that? Because anybody who is familiar with Abia North will know that the people, travel a lot for Christmas. The people come back home to enjoy and celebrate, and there is serious traffic on that road. And that was that's the major road to different parts of Abia North.
In the area of security, Ekoma acknowledged that the state had been bedeviled by kidnappers and armed robbers until the emergence of Governor Otti's administration.
Now the governor assumed office and set up the Security Joint Task Force, codenamed Operation Crush, mobilized them, provided all that they required, bought Helios vehicles, and they swung into action.
Some residents have commended the governor, describing his work so far as a good start.
He tried, well, especially now we have get ourselves everywhere is moving smoothly. The change we desire in Abia has come. So I want to enjoin Abians to always believe in him, support his administration, work with him, so that next level becomes a reality not only for the civil servant, but for every Abia citizen, which we have seen him show.
Alex Choma Otti, who hails from Isialangwa in Abia State. He was sworn in on May 29, 2023 as the 5th democratically elected governor of Abia State, having been elected by the people of Abia on March 18, 2023, and currently serving his first term in office as governor of Abia State, Nigeria. From Umuahia in Abia State, I am Justice Ama for Signature TV News.
Governor Pitamba has assured the Enugu State citizens of greater development, emphasizing that the mission to reverse the state's social-economic challenges is the administration's core mandate. He made the statement on Wednesday during activities to commemorate his 1 year in office, which included a banquet and commissioning of projects. Correspondent Chinemere Mikebunam was on the governor's entourage.
May 29th, which was initially the official Democracy Day in Nigeria, provides an opportunity for Nigerians to reflect on their democratic journey, celebrate their achievements, and contemplate on the challenges ahead. In 2024, the date is also marked the 1st year anniversary of the country's leaders, who were sworn in on the 29th of May 2023, which Enugu State government is part of. As Enugu State celebrates, Governor Pitamba has pledged to improve on the performance of his government in the last 1 year by focusing on providing employment, poverty alleviation, social inclusion, fighting crimes, provision of public services, and other socio-economic challenges.
This banquet may indeed be a fitting celebration for the modest achievement we've had in the last 1 year. But please make no mistake, our job is far from done. So we're not about to delude ourselves. We know that the job ahead is still quite daunting, but we are also unwavering in our determination.
Jim Nwobodo, the former governor of Old Anambra, urges Governor Mba to be alive to his duties and provide the right leadership, because what counts is one's track record when out of office.
There are people who will talk good of you, Others will talk about you. But the most important thing is, if you know you want to be there. If you mean well, people will see later that you meant well. No governor of this state will do everything to punish him. No governor. But what governor they mean? Come on, what they mean? No, what they mean? Mana, here in Europe, you give me for courage, man. Tell them why you are doing it.
The first project to be commissioned was the Ido River roads, Meniru by Mount Street Road and Umochu Street Road.
As the commissioner has read out, it encompasses a number of other streets, including Meniru. I'm sure that the famous Ido River Secondary School, right, will now, you have no inhibition going to that famous school with this construction of road. So on that note, I dedicate this road commissioning to the glory of God and to the benefit of Undi River and the people of Enugu State. Thank you.
At St. Peter's, Gariki, the governor promised his second year in office will witness more roads, street lights, and enhanced water supply.
All the Trunk A and Trunk B roads in our rural areas will also receive attention. Indeed, the roads to our farmland will also receive attention. So very soon, if your tap is not running, just know it's only a matter of days and weeks it will get to you. I want to dedicate the commissioning of this road to the glory of God and to the benefit and use of Ndi St. Peter's, Ndi Odudu Koko, and also Ndi Enugu at large. Thank you very much.
Signature TV spoke with residents at the commissioning ceremony.
I was born here about 46 years ago. For life, I have not tested a thing like this. How I wish my father and my mother were alive to see this type of connectivity. Oh, who had expected that such a thing will come to Ido River in a short time?
Like seeing the children, they can go to school freely without being, splashed water by the motorists. People can walk freely. We are happy. And we are asking for more if we can put street light so that at night everywhere we saw illuminating.
His works are everywhere. He promised a lot of things. And that's why he has not been in the business of engaging a lot of people with, discussions. He's just there, being busy, putting into work all his promises.
29th of May 2024 has come and gone, but with many promises from the government. The citizens are waiting with great expectations. In Enugu, Chinemere Mikebunam for Signature TV News.
The Enugu State government says it is set to employ no fewer than 400 clinical and non-clinical staff within its functional primary health care centers to strengthen manpower needs. The Executive Secretary of the Enugu State Primary Health Care Development Agency, Dr. Ifenyiwa Aniosheku, disclosed this in Enugu, noted on Thursday that those to be employed are based on existing manpower gaps identified in primary health care centers in each of the 17 consuls of the state. She added that the recruitment would involve intake of clinical staff like nurses, midwives, and lab scientists, as well as other non-clinical staff such as ward attendants, cleaners, among others. The Executive Secretary said that to check truancy, those to be recruited would come from communities or consul areas where the centers are located so that they would deliver quality healthcare services and ensure 90% of the healthcare burdens of communities are addressed timely. Enugu streets deserted as residents stay at home. We'll bring you details and more right after the break. The streets of Enugu were totally deserted on Thursday morning, the 30th day in the month of May, following a sit-at-home order issued by the indigenous people of Biafra. The group declared the day as Biafra Heroes Day in memory of the people of the defunct Biafra Republic who lost their lives during the Nigerian Civil War from 1967 to 1970. Enugu, Nigeria, a vibrant city known for its warm hospitality and rich history, but today, May 30th, the streets are eerie quiet. This is Otiba Junction, usually a beehive of activity, but on this day, declared Biafra Heroes Day by the indigenous people of Biafra, the junction stands deserted. It's 7:30 a.m., a time when this junction would normally be teeming with commuters and traders. However, in response to IPOB's call for a sit-at-home order, most businesses are closed and the streets are empty. This observance of Biafra Heroes Day highlights the lasting impact of the Nigerian Civil War. The war, a brutal conflict that claimed millions of lives, remains a sensitive topic. Many, particularly the Igbo people, remember the devastation. The Enugu state government, however, disagrees with the sit-at-home order. They've declared it illegal and threatened to dismiss any government employee who doesn't show up for work. This clash between IPOB and the government creates tension for residents caught in the middle. Many say it may have made most people desert the streets. The New Haven Tunnel, usually a bottleneck during rush hour, is eerie quiet. This drop in traffic underscores the widespread observance of Biafra Heroes Day. Beyond the silence and empty streets, the economic impact of the sit-at-home order is another concern. The observance of Biafra Heroes Day is a complex issue, reflecting both remembrance and a yearning for peace. As Enugu grapples with the legacy of the war, the question remains, how can the city move forward while honoring its past? Enugu, a city of resilience, will undoubtedly find a way, but the echoes of the Civil War serve as a constant reminder of the importance of dialogue and reconciliation. The high level of compliance may be indicating a strong regional support for IPOB's cause and a collective act of civil disobedience. The day disrupted usual business activities and movement, turning bustling areas into near ghost towns. Charles Pius reporting for Signature Television. The chairman of the House Committee on Education in the Enugu State House of Assembly, Osita Eze, wants the three tiers of government to pay more attention to the education sector. Eze, who spoke in an interview with Signature TV in Enugu, said time has come to review the entire system of education in the country to make it address present and future challenges.
Osita Eze, who represents Oji River constituency in the Enugu State House of Assembly, stated that it was through sound and quality education that the country would be able to develop rapidly and compete effectively with other countries of the world. He lamented that the quality of education in the country has gone over the years due to inadequate attention to the sector. Eze said time has come for parents, teachers, churches, and the entire society to show more interest in the upbringing of the children by inculcating in them the virtues of hard work and integrity.
We must take some positive decision by addressing our children, by taking upon ourselves to train our children, to make them know that there's benefit in hard work. You understand? You have to study very well before you can pass an exam, and also to let them know that there's no point cheating. There's no advantage in cheating. Even if you cheat tomorrow, you won't be able to perform very well. That is why some people, they will make all the A's and everything, but to come on interview them, they won't be able to do anything.
Osita Eze, however, paid tribute to the Enugu state government for its giant strides in the education, especially with the ongoing Smart Schools initiative, which he observed has already taken off in some of the 260 electoral wards of the state.
That the level of education has gone down in the entire nation, and we are very lucky to have a governor that understood the importance of education. And in the past few months, about a year now, he has taken a step that His Excellency Dr. Peter Mba has taken a big step, a big step towards revitalizing education in Enugu State in particular. That is why we are having about 260 smart schools distributed across the 260 political wards in Enugu State. And some of the local governments, some of the wards are already, the smart schools are already being built in some wards. So I'm a witness to that. It's under my committee, and I've also gone on inspection tour with the SLG and other government officials, and we've recorded a lot of progress.
He said the Education Committee of the House is working closely with the state governments for the prompt execution of the projects, which according to him holds a lot of promises for the children and the youths of the state. The assembly member advised to the states of the country to replicate the Enugu model in their various states for the overall good of the country. The government of Enugu State voted about 33% of the 2024 budget to education, believed to be the highest allocation to the sector by any state in the country. This is Joshua Oritogun reporting for Signature TV.
The Enugu State government has appealed to the federal government to expedite action on the rehabilitation of a new artisan bridge on the Enugu-Port Harcourt Expressway that collapsed a year ago. The state government also urged the Federal Ministry of Works to conduct integrity tests on all bridges built on the federal highways within the states to avoid another incident. The State Commissioner for Works and Infrastructure, Gerald Otiji, made the plea while speaking to newsmen in Enugu on the state of the roads and other infrastructures within Enugu State. Otiji said that the fast deterioration of internal roads within Enugu metropolis is brought about by the collapsed bridge and overloaded 90-ton trucks plying on them daily to reach various parts of the country. The commissioner noted that most of the internal roads, which were Trunk B and Trunk C roads, were not constructed to carry hundreds of heavy ton vehicles and machinery daily. And meanwhile, the Anambra government has procured and distributed public address systems to each of the 326 wards in the state for creation of awareness on health issues and outbreak of diseases. The State Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afam Obidike, said during the distribution in Awka on Thursday that the public address system would help to reach the nooks and crannies of the state. Obidike said that the public address system would assist house-to-house mobilizers and town announcers in communities across the state to call out and mobilize people for vaccination and health talks. The Anambra State Health Educator and Risks Communication Pillar lead, Uju Onwebuzina, said the procurement was supported by the COVID-19 Preparedness and Response Project and the World Bank. She said that house-to-house mobilizers and town announcers would use the public address system to spread awareness about vaccination programs and other health campaigns. A total of 30,000 students have successfully registered for the Students' Loan Scheme, while over 60,000 individuals have registered on the websites of the fund. The managing director of the Nigerian Education Loan Fund, Akintunde Sawyer, made this known during a press briefing in Abuja on Thursday. Sawyer said NEL Fund plans to start entertaining loan applications from students attending state-owned tertiary institutions on June 25th. He said the overwhelming response to the scheme serves as a testament to the critical need for financial assistance to students' population. The NEL Fund MD, who stated that over 90% of federal institutions had so far submitted their students' details, encouraged the remaining 2 federal universities and 5 federal polytechnics to expedite the process to ensure that all eligible students have access to this financial support. South Africans look up to the future after elections, and Messi's side bowed to lowly place Atlanta. Join us again. Welcome back. This is Signature TV News. President Bola Tinubu will soon present the 2024 supplementary budget to the National Assembly. The president made this intention known when he addressed a joint sitting of the National Assembly on Wednesday to mark the silver jubilee of Nigeria's Fourth Republic. Senate President Godswill Akpabio, in his reaction, told the president that the legislature will be expecting the supplementary appropriation bill as soon as possible. Tinubu had on January 1st, 2024, assented to the 28.7 trillion naira 2024 appropriation bill passed by the Senate, which was 1.2 trillion naira higher than the budget originally proposed by the President to a joint National Assembly session on November 29, 2023. The Special Presidential Envoy on Climate Action, Ajuri Ngelale, has begun stakeholders' engagement on plans by Nigeria to maximize the potential in the climate ecosystem. President Bola Tinubu had approved the establishment of a committee to oversee Green Economic Initiative, known as the Presidential Committee on Climate Action and Green Economic Solutions, and the appointment of Ngelale as a special envoy, while retaining him as a special advisor on media and publicity. The envoy, who met with the United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed in New York on first leg of the engagements on Wednesday, said the meeting with Mohammed was aimed at deepening collaboration with critical stakeholders on the existential matter on Nigeria's new climate policies. The Green Economic Committee is part of a strategic move of the President to ensure the advancement of his administration's climate and green economic initiatives, as the committee will coordinate and oversee all the policies and programs on climate action and green economic development. Ngelale had a meeting with a sector-wide technical working group of the U.S. State Department at U.S. State Department headquarters in Washington, D.C., as well as London Derrens of the Global Energy Center of the Washington-based Atlantic Council in Washington, D.C. And elsewhere, voting results started trickling in on Thursday at the National Results Operations Center of the Electoral Commission of South Africa in Midrand, South Africa, in one of the most hotly contested elections since the end of apartheid. With results in from 16.7% of polling stations, the African National Congress share of the vote stood at 42.5%, with the pro-business Democratic Alliance DA on 25.8%, data from the Electoral Commission showed. The Marxist Economic Freedom Fighters EFF party was on 8.5%, while Umokonto Wize MK, a new party led by former President Jacob Zuma, was snapping at its heels on 8%. If the final results confirm the ANC's loss of its majority, the party will be forced to make a deal with one or more of other parties to govern, a situation that could lead to unprecedented political volatility in the coming weeks or months. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken said on Thursday that a united NATO is more likely to deter aggression as he met with Czech counterparts ahead of a meeting of the alliance's foreign ministers. Foreign ministers of NATO's 32 members will gather in the Czech capital, Prague, on Thursday and Friday, May 31st, to hammer out agreements for later when NATO leaders meet in Washington in July, focusing on Putin's support for Ukraine on a more stable long-term footing. Blinken and Czech Foreign Minister Jan Lipavsky also signed a memorandum of understanding to cooperate on combating mis- and disinformation, which Blinken said was a poison being injected into our democracies by our adversaries. Palestinian civil defense teams were trying to control a large fire that broke out at a popular market in Ramallah in morning hours of Thursday, May 30, after clashes between the Palestinians and Israeli army erupted during a raid on the West Bank city. Yazan Omar, director of civil defense in Ramallah and Al-Birea Governorate, said that the Israeli army raided the market in the early hours of the morning and fired stun grenades and tear gas canisters after clashing with the Palestinians there. Many stalls and goods were made of flammable materials and caught fire during the clashes. Dozens of firefighters were seen trying to control the fire, which spread around quickly, engulfing vast area. Reuters reached out to the Israeli army for the comments, and the army stated that the incident was being investigated. The Ramallah municipality estimated the material losses resulting from the fire at tens of millions of shekels. The Hong Kong government and police force welcomed a court's decision on Thursday after 14 Democrats were found guilty in a landmark subversion trial. The verdicts in Hong Kong's biggest trial against the Democratic opposition come from more than 3 years after police arrested 47 Democrats in dawn raids at homes across the city. Hong Kong's Chief Superintendent of the National Security Department, Steve Lee, said the National Police Department of the Hong Kong Police welcomes the court's conviction, and the Department of Justice has already planned to appeal the two acquittals. Sentencing will come at a later date for those found guilty, with prison terms ranging from 3 years to life. The judges extended bail for the 2 acquitted individuals and tentatively adjourned the case until June 25, when those convicted can make mitigating arguments before final sentencing. Earlier Thursday, 14 Hong Kong pro-democracy activists were found guilty and 2 were acquitted in a trial that critics say could deal another blow to the city's rule of law and its reputation as a global financial hub. Security was tight around the High Court ahead of the trial, with several foreign diplomats in attendance. Scores of police officers and vehicles patrolled the area. Some supporters queued overnight to secure a spot. The verdict in Hong Kong's biggest trial against the Democratic opposition come more than 3 years after police arrested 47 Democrats in dawn raids at homes across the city. They were charged with conspiracy to commit subversion under a national security law imposed by China. Those convicted include former Democratic lawmakers Leung Kwok Hung, Lam Chiu King, and Helena Wong. It was not yet clear whether any would appeal, with court adjourned until an afternoon session. Acquitted were Barrister Lawrence Lau and social worker Lee Yong-shun. Security Secretary Chris Tang told reporters in news briefing shortly after the verdicts. Sabah Lobjanze scored a pair of goals to lift Atlanta United to a 3-1 victory over the returning Lionel Messi and Inter Miami on Wednesday, May 29th in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Jamal Tiare also tallied, and Tristan Moyumba, Brooks Lennon and Caleb Wiley each notched an assist to help Atlanta United end their winless drought after 9 matches. Messi joined fellow former FC Barcelona teammates Luis Suarez and Sergio Busquets in returning to Miami's lineup after being rested for 1 match, but it was Lobzani who opened the scoring in the 44th minute when he dribbled the ball down the middle of the field and unleashed a shot from outside the penalty area that sailed inside the left corner of the net. Lobzani's doubled the advantage in the 59 minutes after his long-range left-footed shots curled inside the far post. The goal was Lobzan's 4th of the season. Messi halved the deficit 3 minutes later after his shot from outside the box beat Cohen. Messi's goal was his 11th of the season, marching Suarez for the team lead. Fiare restored Atlanta's 2-goal advantage in the 73rd minutes after deflecting Wiley's cross in from close range. The setback was Miami's first since a 4-0 loss at the New York Red Bulls on March 23rd. Despite the defeat, Miami remained top of the MLL's Eastern Conference with 34 points, while Atlanta are 12th on 16th. And as the news is hour, I'm Charles Pius. Thanks for watching.